Mike Reyes with that hashtag show, talking with the legend Michael Rooker. Just it is good to see you coming back to Black Ops, but then again, it's just good to see or hear you at any point. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
And what's especially interesting about this is I almost forgot, going way back in the days of Black Ops lore, you played yourself in a DLC for the first Black Ops before becoming Mike. And just hitting back to the beginning, what was it about that first record that sort of convinced you wanted to go deeper with an actual character in this franchise?
Oh, you mean the Call of the Dead, right?
Yes, Call of the
Yeah,
Dead.
Call of the Dead. Because we had such a blast, dude. We had so much fun. Call of the Dead was so great. Danny Trio was there, and Sarah Michelle Gellar and myself. I just Robert England, and just it was perfect. It was a group of just misfits that just jived, and we had a great time doing it. Yeah.
See, now that you mention it, I think that's sort of the key to longevity when like you just that handful of actors you named and yourself included in sort of misfit mentality where it's like you do all this sorts of neat stuff and it all just works.
And it works, and it works because we're every single one of those people I mentioned, just like they've done it their way. You know, I would wager that each of those individuals, myself included, have over the years, we just we just got a special way of presenting stuff and a special way of interpreting stuff. And I just talked with another gentleman about the interpretation of the material. Not everyone is the same. We all have our own brains that interpret material differently. No matter what it says, we may be all reading the same lines, but we're going to internalize it and bring it back out in a very unique way. And that
And
happens a lot with the good ones, I think.
oh yeah, and I mean just another connection of yours is James Gunn. Look at what he did with Superman this year, where
Mm.
that was something where I feel it's just the most comic book comic book grounded. It's not the gritty realism that we've seen with others. It really was colorful. It used all these different mechanisms that you read in a comic book. It was like a living, breathing book.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I agree. 100%. Yeah.
so on that line, not only is there voiceover included with the Call of Duty game, but there's also the mocap. There's the suits, there's walking through the volume, there's just finding yourself in that space as well. And again, this is a franchise that has evolved not only through story and the twist that it takes, but actually the way that it's produced. So I was wondering how you feel the mocap and the voiceover process has changed the most between Call of the Dead and Black Ops 7.
Oh, the changes are astronomical. You know, the visual ones that you see are obviously the dots are no longer on the faces, little tiny little paint dots there that are there, but you got a camera that's about 8 inches in front of you with lights shining up into your eyes, into your face, and you're doing facial motion capture. We didn't have facial motion capture as a specific thing back in Black Ops 2. The facial motion capture happened along with the body, the whole body's motion capture, and if anything, we would zero in on the face, head and shoulders, and go over certain lines so that they would get the motion of the mouth and the lips and what your eyes do when you're squinting or laughing and all that sort of stuff. But now you don't have to do that. You don't have to especially do that because it's all done in the facial motion capture with the camera. It catches it all, right? So that's the most obvious change. I mean, the volume hasn't changed. Whatever the volume is, what the volume is. But all the other stuff, the chips that they're using in the computers, and that just the way they're doing all that technical stuff, behind the scenes stuff, which I know gamers know that that's how they do it, but those cats don't nearly get enough praise. They're amazing, just amazing, and that's changed quite a lot over the years since from Black Ops 2 to now Black Ops 7. My goodness, yeah.
I mean, you even look at just how they how they capture like actual historical figures. Because I remember COD 1, they had the campaign where it's like Kennedy and Nixon fighting zombies. And then you go back to like Cold War a couple of years ago and how they got Reagan, and just that the likeness of his face in there was, it's mind blowing.
Well, it's amazing what they can do, and that's all that behind the scenes stuff I'm talking about, man. It's really quite phenomenal what they can do, and we were just talking a little bit earlier. I was talking with another guy, and we are talking about there's going to be a film. Dude, it's going to be a film. It's going to be cinema on
Taylor
Black.
Sheridan writing that.
Right? I mean, that's going to be amazing. It's going to, because I like the fact that games are games and films are films, and the gaming community and the gaming industry has been trying and trying and trying and working hard to make the game more cinematic. I'm cool with the game's cinematic abilities now, you know? How about now we do an actual piece of cinema on the game, you know? So that why not? And I'm so surprised it's taken so long, really, to pick up the biggest franchise in the world. And now let's make it into a major feature film. That's fantastic. So yay, go,
Oh
go.
yeah. Oh yeah, it's been such a they've been trying for years on that, and I think this is the closest they've gotten with like that big of a talent to sign on to that. I heard Taylor Sheridan, I thought I heard Peter Berg is either producing or
Yeah.
directing.
Wow, wow,
So
wow.
now that you brought us into this as an actor, oh, go on.
Yeah, no, I just think
Oh,
now they got to just get the right actors. Hello.
well, I was going to say, as an actor, what do you feel is going to be the most important part to reverse translating that, so to speak, like bringing Call of Duty from that cinematic game into that sort of static, entertaining cinematic world?
It's just going to be the casting. Now it's they got the director, got the writer. Now, of course, the next step is get the script, of course, and then see who works for the script. They're going to find some amazing people, and I'm sure they will. So that's going to be the next. It's going to be great, dude. It's just going to be great.
I mean,
So I
I'm
mean,
just going to pitch.
we may even get the gamers off the couch and into the theater. That would be kind of a miracle if the film did that. So that's
I mean,
amazing.
that has been happening a lot more lately because you have seen Sonic the Hedgehog became a hit. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is coming towards the end of
Yeah,
this year. Like it really is. They seem to have worked it out somehow. And I'm just going to go ahead and pitch the room. We got Taylor Sheridan, we've got Peter Berg,
yeah.
and we've got a good stretch of years where we don't know what happened to Mike Harper. Let's get the legend of Mike Harper
The
right on the big
legend of
screen.
the
There you go.
legend of Mike Harper.
There you go. But that ties into something else I wanted to ask you about,
Yeah.
because infamously Black Ops 2 story was branching, and there was a branch where you end up shooting Harper and he's not there anymore. Did you always know that that was an open-ended sort of non-canon event, or were you sort of in the dark when it came to like, well, would I ever play this
Well,
character again?
you can that you it gave the player a choice. You get to make that moral choice within the game. You shoot Mike Harper, or you and save the world, or you the hell with the world. I'm saving my buddy Mike Harper because I became their buddies. I became their main guy, you know. And it's like, yeah. So it was I think it was the first time they ever did that. They ever even gave the inkling of killing off a main character like that, right? And so it was a big deal. It was a very big deal. I mean,
So
people come up to me all the time. They come up to me all the time and they look at me in the eye and they just go, I refused to kill you. I did not kill you. And it's like, you're the man, dude.
all right,
Right?
as someone who grew up with his father loving Days of Thunder, and then
Yeah.
eventually coming to love you as an actor myself, like as a fan myself with your career, there's two
Yeah.
things I would think. There's that, and then I would have to hold back tears because of Yandu, because of the way that
Mm.
character was so lovingly crafted, and that was
Yeah.
just something that was so. Like you mentioned the name Michael Rooker, and you are a fantastic character actor. You have all these different roles. I mean, Henry put you on the map. So that's something that
Hmm.
probably
Yeah.
still shakes
Yeah.
people. Go from that to Yandu, who's just so beautiful. It must be a dream.
James Gunn wrote that character. Yandu was written so well, so tailored to, let me venture to say, probably one of his favorite actors in the world. Hello, James.
Come on.
But we're buddies. We're really good friends, and we love working with each other. And he wrote the hell out of that role, dude. Beautiful, no acting involved. It was just so easy to say those words. It was so easy to go through those emotions. It was so easy to, you know, float down from the sky and scream, I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. You know, it was great stuff. Great stuff.
And then so easy that literally you're just there for like a second and three, and automatically that is an emotional response.
Mm.
Like seeing Kraglin look at him and just,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh, it's just so great to be, that sort of thing where you're going from not necessarily a video game, but a comic book, and you're turning
right.
this character from a comic book into film. You're putting it in film, and what do you do? What do you make? How do you make it different? How do you make it cinematic? Stuff like that. I love the fact that as the actor, our emblem for our union, SAG, is the smiley face and the frowning face. And as the actor, had the opportunity to give the audience exactly that in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, where you get the smiling, you get the spontaneous laughter, and you get the spontaneous weeping in the same movie, which was like, that never happens usually, and especially with a lot of my characters. You're either laughing and having fun, or you're going to be dead. But our game is absolutely so vast and rich. I think players, gamers are just going to absolutely eat it up.
Well, that brings me to one last. I think I have time for one more question, and I wanted to bring it out.
Mike, we really do have to wrap up now. I'm sorry.
Okay.
If it's a really quick question, go for it. But we just have to be on another call at 5:50.
Okay.
So.
All right, just
Go ahead.
one last
Real
one,
quick.
because
Real quick.
you're talking about the customization that fans love to have with their characters. You're going to be in multiplayer and in zombies. What sort of skins can you tease, or what sort of like one-liners can you tease for players that are going to take on your form?
None whatsoever. You get no inkling. You're going to have to be surprised. Play the game. Do it. Go buy the game and play it. And I
Call
mean
of
it.
Duty, Black Ops 7, November 14th, The Legend of Mike Harper, TBD. Thank you so much, Mr. Rooker. This is
Thank you,
just
brother.
honor, pleasure, fantastic.
Right on. Right back at you.